Okay, second video of the day. I also want to appreciate all people who watched my, or tried to watch my Dark Phoenix review. It got over 100 views, and normally I wouldn't give a shit, but it kind of feels nice, so I just wanted to thank all the people who tried to bother watching my stuff and got me over 100 views. It doesn't mean much, but for a small channel like me, it matters, you know, even because that's like big. I've got like 30 subscribers, so yeah. But let's get on the topic. The Witcher Season 2 dropped this weekend, and I saw it. Now, in between The Witcher Season 1 and Season 2, I've got to learn more about the Witcher world. So when finally Season 2 arrived, I knew much more about the source material. There's an amazing series on YouTube by a guy who chronicles the adventures of Geralt and Ciri exclusively, like as an audiobook. It's amazing. Production values and stuff is amazing. But yeah, that helped me to learn more about the Witcher universe. And now watching Season 2, it was more consistent because it didn't rely on telling different time zones and stuff, so in that regard it was more consistent and easier to follow. But it also changed a lot. For example, Ciri isn't present during the Nivellen story in the books or in the book. Also, I'm gonna talk here with spoilers, you know, they dropped it in one big load, so there's gonna be a spoiler talk. Also, Yennefer in the books doesn't have the problem that she's cut off from magic, and there's some other moments that are quite awesome but weren't included in the show. You don't really get the importance of why Triss can't wear anything that reveals her neck. I know this isn't focused too much in the games, but in the book it's a huge plot point because she stays with Ciri at Kaer Morhen and becomes like elder sister to Ciri, and there's this great moment where they are discussing Ciri, who already went to bed, and Geralt tries to lecture her, and it's this big stand-up moment for Triss where she says,
"And I thought the blood in which I was lying was Corey's blood, and it was my own. And then I saw what they had done to me, and I started to howl like a beaten dog, like a battered child. Leave me alone. Don't worry, I'm not going to cry. I'm not a little girl from a tiny tower in Maribor anymore. Damn it, I'm Triss Marigold, the 14th one killed at Sutton. There are 14 graves at the foot of the obelisk on the hill, but only 13 bodies. You're amazed such a mistake could have been made. Most of the corpses were in hard to recognize pieces. No one identified them. The living were hard to account for too. Of those who had known me, well, Yennefer was the only one to survive, and Yennefer was blind. Others knew me fleetingly and always recognized me by my beautiful hair, and damn it, I didn't have any more."
It wasn't perfect, but overall it was more consistent. But you can already see that they go further away from the source material because they tried to include also stuff from the games. Surprisingly, in the books, the Wild Hunt isn't that much of a thing, but they were the main antagonists in The Witcher 3, which is an amazing game. But yeah, so they tried to allude to that fact. I basically also loved everything about Lara Dorn. When I first heard the name of Lara Dorn, I was enchanted, you know, and I'm still mystified by this character. And they handled that matter quite well, I think. But yeah, the Wild Hunt isn't that big in the books. As for other certain stuff, like I've heard they included Gaunter Dim. I couldn't spot him. I tried, and there was one character where I was pretty sure that this was Gaunter, but then something happened and I was like, nah, it's not Gaunter Dim. Now, Gaunter Dim was an inclusion in the Witcher games, particularly Witcher 3, and that's what I mean. The show tries to follow the books, but it also includes stuff from the game, and the games are not canon to the books. They are a sort of continuation of the book storylines, but they don't belong in the actual canon. So that's why I find it so odd. Also, odd were choices that are related to Nightmare of the Wolf, the the animated film Netflix produced a couple of months ago, because this is apparently canon for the Witcher show, and I don't know, it feels kind of weird, and there's some other stuff, they did my man Eskel dirty, they killed him off, and I'm still not fine with it, you know, because Eskel is cool, and also Eskel, when he's introduced, he seems more like Lambert in character, and Lambert doesn't have that much of a character. He's also not that big in the show. I know he's also a minor character in the books, but The Witcher 3 really drove home how Lambert, Eskel, and Geralt are brothers, and puts major importance in it, so that felt weird. What else is there? Yeah, overall, Henry Cavill did a great job as Geralt again, and oh yeah, they shortened also some stuff, like for example, the hunt for Rience is shorter. I know he isn't completely out of the game yet, but there's several chapters dedicated for it, making it longer than 1 hour. But here it's just like one episode. Also, Philippa Eilhart is included in that hunt for Rience or Rience, Firefucker, as they call him in the show, which is kind of funny, kind of immature, but I get it. Philippa Eilhart, she doesn't play major importance. Surprisingly, her owl shows up, and we only get to see her in the last episode, like episode 8, which is kind of disappointing. Which reminds me, the actor of Dijkstra is also quite good. He did a good job as Dijkstra. I know the actor from Outlander, where he played one of the major characters until he got killed off. But yeah, and I think it's a shame because Philippa is a very cool and very important character, kind of. Also one of the sorcerers, I believe Geralt banged in the books. He has a thing for sorcerers. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I mean, he had something with Litanette, who's absent from the show, not from the books, absent from the show. But she died at Sutton Hill, and there was a small storyline in the books with Litanette. He had also something with Triss and Yennefer and Philippa and Fringilla. But yeah, and I also have to applaud The Witcher Season 2 for updating its visuals. I've recently begun watching the Wheel of Time show, and what I felt was that it lacked visual identity, something that made it special. Felt the Wheels of Time show feels more like a show from the 2000s, like something like Legend of the Seeker, but The Witcher has a very strong visual identity, and that's quite good, It was also interesting to see some new monsters, more emphasis on monsters, and the whole relationship between Geralt and Ciri is also good. But it's weird, because the actress of Ciri is, honestly, she aged up, in between season 1 and season 2. So now in season 2, the actress is physically much closer to the Ciri that is shown in The Witcher 3. But at that time in the books, Ciri was still a kid, and not a teenager. But that bond is nice to see, and yeah, overall I give it, I think, an 8 out of 10. Now, this video has been long, because it's so close to my memory, so that's why I talked for so long. And as you know me, if you liked the video, subscribe, or don't give a like, or don't put a comment and tell me how wrong I am, or I don't know, I just hope that you enjoyed it, and recommend me to your friends. So yeah, this is gonna be it for this video, and I hope you'll Dear Watcher return next time. Okay, there's one last thing that I have to mention, and that is I have now a SoundCloud account where I post remixes of music because, the whole copyright system on YouTube is fucked. But I like music and I like editing music. It's been a huge passion of mine, among many other things. And yeah, check it out. I will put down the link somewhere in the description and give it a listen or two. But yeah, now that's gonna be really it for this video, and we'll see us next time.
Now get the fuck out of my driveway.